Phil, when I talked about 5-7 at Miami, I alluded to 5-7 at Texas A&M, and of course, the talent is there. And I alluded to some of the outcomes last season. Your thoughts about Bobby Petrino taking over the offense to a certain extent, or maybe that's still in question as to how much he's going to wrestle away from Jimbo Fisher. But your thoughts about Texas A&M?
A&M's a team that's got me all fired up, Mark. It's a team where when I went over the team with Coach Fisher last year, keep in mind, last year Texas A&M was number 124 on my experience chart. So they were one of the least experienced teams in the country. And what I do when I talk to the coach, I try to spend about an hour with each one, is I send them over my team pages, which have every player on the roster, all my stats, all my notes on the players. And I say, okay, tell me about the strengths and weaknesses of each one, put my guys in order, and then give me a wrap-up of the position. So when we're wrapping up most of the positions, like the offensive line, he said, Phil, we're going to have one of the best offensive lines in the country next year. He would follow a lot of those position recaps with next year. Well, now it is next year. And they go from number 124, my experience chart, all the way to number 14. Keep in mind, last year, they lost their star wide receiver, Anaya Smith, after 4 starts. They used 3 different starting quarterbacks due to injury. The offensive line at times started 2 or 3 freshmen. The defense was banged up as well. Now, even in that year, as you correctly pointed out, they beat LSU 38-23. They were at the Alabama 2-yard line at the end of the game, throwing into the end zone with a chance to win, down by 4 points. They could have knocked off both those teams last year, even in a 5-7 season. You know, they've recruited just as good as Alabama and Ohio State have the last 5 years. This is a team ready to explode. I see them as my number 1 most improved team, my number 2 surprise team, which is a team I think can actually have a shot at the title. The only questions I have, they do have to play both LSU and Tennessee on the road, and they catch Tennessee the week after playing Bama. But I think they're capable of even winning the West this year and being a legitimate contender. So I'm very bullish on A&M. Love the over 7.5 for their win total.